Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Thursday, August 22nd, 2024. Pre-market report, we're going to cover a bunch of stuff. However, I want to talk more specifically about some work that I've been putting together for quite a while now, and I kind of finished it up last night, and I'm talking about targets. What we can expect to see with regard to the stock market and the price of gold and silver. Period. So stick around for that. You're going to be very interested in, I believe, what I'm going to say here. Let's talk about what we know is happening. Let's start off with that, as a matter of fact. And this is easily verifiable information that I'm going to put out for you. Again, don't believe anything I ever say, ever. I want you to do your own homework. I want you to research it for yourself. So right now we know, and again, this is verifiable information, that central banks around the world are hoarding gold at a pace that we've never seen before. Now, we've been told that central banks hold gold for tradition. Remember that, Ben Bernanke? We were also told that gold is not real money by the same creature. Former Fed Chair Ben Bernanke. It's obviously a lie. There's a reason behind that. We also understand that there's a lot of dynamics in play right now. In fact, the biggest dynamic in play right now is the fact that central banks are ballooning the global money supply, currency supply. It's called money supply, but it's currency. It's not real money. Gold and silver are real money. You all know that. Okay. So considering the dynamics in play, understanding what central banks are doing right now, and the Fed's going to start, if they've already started, this is emergency monetary policy. People, we are witnessing a phenomenon in the debt market here, a massive rally in the debt market. Some mysterious entity out here is buying a lot of debt. In fact, buying all the debt. Central banks are doing the same thing. They have to create currency to do it. They can't just magically make it happen, okay? This is obviously very, very destructive to the purchasing power of the currency worldwide. What do we know? Again, central banks in a race to the bottom. Who can destroy their purchasing power first? Who can melt down their currency first? And we, the people of the world, are paying for this inflationary environment. We're being inflated into extinction. You understand that? Middle class is being erased. You all know that. We've covered it a gazillion times. We're also being propagandized more so than we've ever been propagandized in the history of the world. There's no accountability. Let's talk about that. So this is a headline this morning. Barron's Market Watch here. Fed rate cuts depend on unreliable data. Unreliable data. What are they referring to? Massive revision to these jobs numbers. In fact, 818,000, they just vanished. Jobs that were supposed to have been created, our booming economy. Can't make this up. We're the envy of the world. You remember that? At a Bidenstein mummy man creature thing, vomitous mass puke that he is, okay? We can't get the truth anywhere, period. Now, it's interesting how they put this here as unreliable data. What they should be saying is fake. It's fake data. We are being propagandized. Again, go look at the videos that I did at the end of last year. I said specifically we were going to see this year more propaganda than ever before. More lies, more distractions, more deceptions, and that's all we're getting here. Okay, there's no truth. And again, yesterday's minutes, the Fed minutes, how they told us that everything was fine. Don't worry about a thing. They are in control. Well, no mention whatsoever about these fake jobs numbers. They're all fake. All the data is fake. We're pretty clear on that. I hope so. Anyway, and again, understanding that what we're seeing here with regard to the stock market. Yesterday, we just made 9 consecutive gains with regard to the S&P 500. We don't get pullbacks. We don't get corrections. This is supposed to be, this time of year, you all know this. We covered it right at the start. A very volatile period for the market, seasonal volatility. We ain't seen any of that. We had a flash crash on 2 Fridays ago, followed by a flash crash on Monday where me and my Lions, we jumped in here and we bought hardcore across the board. Why? Because the Fed's buying all the debt. Central banks are buying all the debt. Central banks are weakening their currency. They're hyperinflating the debt bubble, more so than I think any of us here could have ever imagined before. But again, that's opportunity. Again, this is not a doomer channel or a gloomer channel. We can't stop the wheels that are in motion. We really can't. We have no one who wants to tell us the truth or even wants to help us. What we have here is a situation of puppets here, so-called world leaders who are puppets. Every single one is a puppet. They answer to the Federal Reserve, not to you. They're all on the same bandwagon, every single one of them. They're all doing the same things, calling on their central banks to keep rates low. In fact, lower rates. They're calling on their central banks to weaken the currency. This is what we're getting here in the United States out of both selectees to sit behind the resolute desk. You understand? We're being led to the slaughter here. This mechanism has created, again, a phenomenon here. We're seeing a rally in the bond market because the Fed's buying all the debt. We're seeing a rally in the stock market soon to hit new record highs, very soon. You understand that? As the economy craters through the floor. The illusion of the markets will be maintained, in my opinion, and we'll see if I'm right. Again, we've called this market spot on for many, many years now. It's not going to stop. So if we understand, you and I, that this mechanism of, again, fake data, more propaganda, more lies, more deceptions, trickery from people that, I mean, I can't get over the whole thing, honestly, and I'm not just zeroing in on Trump here with the Tic Tacs. Do you remember that? The large Tic Tac pack, and now it's smaller, and this is Biden's fault. Obviously, it's not Biden's fault. It's not Trump's fault either, although he did pull more cash, or allowed the Fed to pull more cash into the now than any of the last 3 presidents. He's number one. He's won that award. Not his fault. He doesn't have a printing press, but he can work with the Fed, as he clearly did, to empower them even more. The man actually called for negative rates during his tenure. Now, Kamala, she has no clue of what's going on whatsoever. She's just going to follow along and regurgitate whatever she's told to say. You understand? That's what they all do anyway. But these tricks here, how he was trying to sell you, look at this. This was a complete deception. Look at this Tic Tac, okay? And then now it's shrunk down. Shrinkflation, we understand. Inflation is the product of monetary policy, which is what central banks run. Presidents don't have the power to create cash out of nothing at all. You understand? They're just a figurehead here, and right now we're being lied to again, and we're being propagandized with unreliable data. Let's call it fake data. Anyway, what we're seeing here with regard to the bond market rally, unprecedented. Stocks getting propped up. Currency devaluation like we've never seen, but we're going to see this to a much greater degree moving forward, and artificially suppress rates. Wait until the Fed makes their announcement, okay? This is going to be a pivotal moment, and I really do believe, for my Lions out here, this market's going to get hit. I believe the market's going to get hit initially when they make the announcement. The Fed's in here, they're lowering rates right now. Mortgage rates at a 2-year low, okay? Didn't happen just by miracle here. The Fed's obviously getting in, they're buying all the debt. That's suppressing rates here. So they're in here, they're obviously cutting rates, but we're not being told that because they haven't made the announcement. Imagine a society that has to be told what's happening. They can't see it with their own eyes, nor hear with their own ears. They have to be told. And that's what the propaganda ministry is doing right now. The CNBC, the Fox Business, the Bloomberg. Oh, the Fed announcement. The announcement. Wait for the announcement. They don't have to announce anything because, see, we're way smarter than they are. We know what's going on already. Now, when the Fed does officially make the announcement, I expect the market to take a hit. Could be substantial. So you and me, my Lions out here, put some powder away. Keep some powder dry. I don't plan on buying any dip that comes along until that moment. Okay, I could be wrong here. If we're wrong, so what? We lose nothing. We lose nothing. Let's say the Fed makes their announcement. The Dow goes up 1,000 points. We don't lose anything. We're still in the market. We're still long. We're still making it work for us. You understand? But in the event that I'm correct, and this turns out to be a sell the news moment, because that's how the market works. Buy the rumor, sell the news. You got it? Pretty simple. We're going to jump in here. We're going to jump in here hardcore, and I plan on buying very aggressively. And I'll tell all of you, obviously, when we get closer. Now, look, I've been putting together a bunch of work lately, trying to discern where the actual bottom is for the market. Now, we can speculate a lot, and we could talk about a lot of things. Again, if you just want to go back to the meltdown of '08, the Dow bottomed out at 6,000. That's when the Fed jumped in here and started buying it all. Quantitative easing 1, or emergency monetary policy, phase 1. Then they went on to phase 2. We're getting emergency monetary policies very soon. September looks like the target. That's what the Fed's telling us. They're announcing it already. They're allowing the market to price it in. You understand? It's amazing how this is actually, it's not supposed to work like this, but that's, again, the Fed is managing the market. The Fed is governing it all. Monetary policy, the economy. It's not presidents, kings, queens, monarchs, dictators who run the economy. Who controls the cash? Controls the economy, controls inflation, everything else. The financial system is controlled by the central banks. Again, so when you're being told about some president's monetary policy, and we're hearing a lot about that now, it's a joke. And the joke is on you, because they do not have that power to run the economy. Right now, the economy, the markets are managed and run by central banks. And what we're about to see is just going to be the mind blower of them all. We already have central banks around the world instituting emergency monetary policy. The Fed's going to follow suit here. Again, expect a sell the news moment. Now let's go back to the market in gold and silver. Okay. We need to figure out where the bottom is, because I believe from everything I look at and all the data that I put together and the way I have come up with this here is we're going to get a 1-to-1 ratio more than likely. I think the odds of getting a 1-to-1 ratio Dow gold is extremely high. Okay. So with that said, and again, I was going over all this stuff for the past maybe 3 weeks, although skip my week where I went away. And last night I kind of said, okay, the most likely scenario that we're going to see is Dow 8,000 as a bottom. Dow 8,000. How would that happen? Again, a debt market, a sell-off in the debt market, which is going to happen. Again, it's the biggest, most monstrous bubble that has ever been created in the history of the world. It's a hyper bubble beyond anything we've ever seen. It's going to burst. Central banks around the world are doing everything they can to keep this bubble inflated. And that means they have to create cash out of thin air, buy it all. You understand that, right? When the debt bubble bursts here, you're going to see a spiking in bond yields you're not going to believe. You're not going to believe, and that's going to melt down stock markets of the world. Cash is just going to move from risk on, meaning cash being pushed into the stock market, to risk off, cash moving into other assets, more specifically commodities. There are none more so undervalued right now than silver number 1 and gold number 2. These two commodities, they're real money, okay, are the most undervalued assets on the planet. If you have another opinion here, I want to hear it, okay? Because this is based upon extensive research and knowledge and an understanding of how the markets work. You tell me where I'm getting this wrong, okay? For those of you that think I am wrong. Meltdown of the debt markets is going to destroy stock markets around the world. This is being set up. It's going to also lead to a liquidity crisis on a scale. We're already in a full-blown liquidity crisis. And the fact of the matter is, and we can see this with our own eyes, how central banks are inflating at a feverish pace just to keep the system, the illusion, alive. Full-blown liquidity crisis. Black hole. Can't be filled. Not ever meant to be filled. More debt must be pulled into the now. You all know this. We've covered this a million times. But eventually the system is going to stop functioning here. Meltdown in the debt market. And this is not, it's probably going to be brought about by an outlying event. Again, something they can point their fingers at, whether it's some disfiguring disease process that they're going to blame. And it looks like this whole monkeypox thing, that they might be weaponizing this against all of us. So just be prepared. I've said they're going to utilize some type of a disfiguring disease. Again, last time it didn't work. People got to cover their faces. There wasn't so much fear. You understand? If people see marks on the body, they're going to run to their physician to get whatever new bioweapon they want injected into you. You understand? They're going to cause fear on a scale that people are not going to believe. That's what they need to do to bring the system and the people to their knees. That is a possibility. It also could be, who knows, some other outlying event, more war, nuclear explosion, something that they can point their finger, because they can't be blamed. You have to understand, when the debt market implodes on itself, it's going to be by an act of their own doing. Does this make sense to you? Nothing happens by accident. You understand? Nothing. Like, for example, this fake data. They knew this was all fake. And the Fed set this up. This unbelievable downward revision with job creation gives them a green light. Well, to institute emergency monetary policy, for which they're doing right now. They're buying it all. But now when they make the announcement, they can create as much cash as they want out of nothing and buy anything they want. But they're going to be buying assets like you can't believe, because that's the end game. Central bank's goal is very simple: to be the lenders and buyers of last resort, to own it all. You all know that. Anyway, some outlier, an outlying event, is going to be blamed for the meltdown in the debt market. Of course, it's going to be of their own doing. Debt market meltdown, stock markets around the world are going to crater, and I mean crater. So, gauging from everything that I've looked at so far, I believe the Dow has a great potential to bottom out somewhere around 8,000. And we're going to get a 1-to-1 gold Dow ratio. That means gold 8,000. Gold 8,000. Now potentially silver 10-to-1 to gold. So you're looking at 800. It could be 15-to-1. 15-to-1's a possibility too. But I think, look, markets always overreact. You have to understand that. Every single asset class tends to overreact to the upside or to the downside here. In an extreme case, we could see a 10-to-1 gold-silver ratio. So gold, 8,000, silver, 800. 15-to-1, what would that bring gold? The silver to? I can't do the math in my head right now. But either way, you're looking at incredible gains here. We need exposure to commodities. You all know that. So based on everything that I'm looking at an extreme, I mean, it's possible that the Dow could go lower than 8,000. Again, the real bottom, we don't know where the real bottom is. The Fed jumped in here with QE1, or, emergency monetary policy 1, at Dow 6,000. Is that a hard bottom? It might be. We could hit 6,000. However you want to look at it. I think the most likely scenario here, again, is Dow 8,000, gold 8,000. Okay, 1-to-1. And again, 10-to-1. Silver, gold, which would put silver at $800 an ounce. Understand? Does this sound about right to you based upon everything you know? All of you here who follow this blog are well versed in this entire thing that's going on here. And I do want to hear from you all. Does this sound about right to you? I'd be willing to bet that most of you would agree. We've never seen anything like this before. We've never been lied to like this. We've been lied to, but not like this before. Unreliable data. Basically, they're telling you you're being lied to. And it's interesting, isn't it, how we can't get the truth anywhere anymore. That should tell you something. We're witnessing the fall of a global empire to be replaced by a more hideous empire. One of extreme control. And unfortunately, a lot less people. They're looking to get rid of millions and millions of people are not going to survive this. And we're going to end up, again, with a resource scarcity, a credit freeze, a locking up of the system, a liquidity crisis for we're in right now. We've never seen anything like it before. And they're going to bring everyone, you and me, they're going to try, to our knees and make us beg for a solution. Please help us. That's what they're going to do. They have it all set up already. Don't you understand that? And It's pretty incredible. It really is. Anyway, look, I'm going to let you all go. A very long video. I want to hear from you. I really, really want to hear from you on this. So what do you think about this scenario here? 1-to-1 ratio, Dow gold. 8,000 seems about the right target, and a potential 10-to-1, at least a 15-to-1 with regard to the gold-silver ratio. I think this is where we're going, people. I really do. And the ramifications of the ripple effect here, again, they want to extort control out of us. With regard to food, water, a means of sustaining yourself, you need these things too. There's just no doubt about it. You have to understand. And they're going to extort control by controlling you in that manner as well. We're witnessing something here that has never been seen before, and if nothing close, on global scale. It's incredible, it really is. All right, look, I'm out of here, people. This guy here loves you from the heart. I really mean that with all I got. Again, I do want to hear from you. Please, if you got something out of this video, let me know. I will read the comments. You think it's important? Share the video. Those thumbs up, very valuable, very valuable. You want people to hear this stuff? Give this video a thumbs up, and then please share it on your social networks. All right, with that, I'll see all of you later, 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern for my live stream. Until we meet again, people, take care of yourselves and each other.